All right. So, cheers, everybody, and welcome back to Sips and Scripts. I'm your host, Kirsten Jackson, cocktail lover, storyteller, and your go to girl for bold films and even bolder drinks. This is a show where cinema meets cocktails and where we sip something delicious while we take a deep dive into the films that move us, challenge us, or make us say, "What the hell did I just watch?" Every week, one of us will pick a film. It's my week this week. And we'll bring our opinions and our hot takes and always have a perfectly paired cocktail at the table. So, of course, I'm joined by my brilliant co hosts, Terrell
What it do?
and Jeff.
Top of the evening or afternoon to you both.
Top of the afternoon to you as well, my good sir. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, good, good.
Doing good. Terrell, what you got going on this week? What's new in Terrell world?
Well, school's out for summer, so
For summer
figuring out what to do with these little ones.
with my amazing little babies.
They not little babies no more. You got to come see
Oh,
them, and then you can see how big they are.
see, we just had to throw that in. All good, all
No
good.
worries. I'll report to you. I'll let you know how tall they are.
You know what? Anyway, Jeff, how you doing this week? What's going on in Jeff world?
Too much going on in my world, but I'm glad that you did start off that intro of what the hell did I just watch, because that's how I felt about this movie, and I can't wait to get into that. Can't wait.
Wow. Well, we'll get
So,
into it. Oh
so
my
glad you put
goodness.
the disclaimer out. This is your episode, not me
Ah.
and Terrell's.
It's gonna be a great one.
Absolutely.
I picked this it was my week to pick this week. So buckle
Love the
up.
disclaimer.
It's gonna be a wild ride. Today we are talking about Black Snake Moan, the 2006 Southern Gothic drama starring Christina Ricci and Samuel L. Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
Why you do JT like that? You
Hello.
an anti-JT fan?
I guess it's all about Janet, huh?
I guess. Senorita.
Nah.
I no, okay. No, it's not even about that. But we'll talk about why I said it like that. But
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All
Oh,
right.
you must like
anyway,
didn't like his character. Okay. Not the actual Justin Timberlake.
the
Gotcha.
character was fine. The performance was not. But anyway,
Oh.
Oh,
this movie, it's gritty, it's uncomfortable, it's got a lot of folks in chains.
Yeah.
And literally and metaphorically. So yeah. But before we jump in, how about we talk about our history with the film before we jump into the nitty gritty? Jeff, let's start with you. What's your history with this film?
You know, I
hold on.
honestly, so 2006, I was at Morehouse College. Shout out to Morehouse College.
Of course, always.
And I know for sure because I was a struggling college student, even though I was a hustler, I was cutting hair in my dorm. I didn't see this in the movie theater. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure I saw this on bootleg. Somebody at the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? For the kids that are, prior to streaming, when you hear bootlegs, this is when people actually took DVDs and put them on or burnt them on actual blank DVDs, and then you would
The
watch them in the
more
DVD player.
you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure my goddaughter or, my nieces and nephews will be like, what are you talking about? A bootleg DVD. So, yeah, it comes on this little circular device that looks like a CD, but not to be mistaken for it, DVD. And I'm pretty sure I bootlegged it, bought it off the Hustle Man at the barbershop. And I thought I had the wrong movie. Definitely thought I had the
Okay.
wrong movie because I was like, what the hell is this that I just put in? But that's my history with the movie. I don't know why you started off with me, but hey, buckle up because it's definitely going to get better.
I have not the words. Okay, well, thank you, Jeff, and thank you. That was our learning corner with Jeffrey Mims, and yes, Terrell. How about you?
Ooh, I have absolutely zero. This movie I heard about this movie I don't even think I saw a preview. I saw, I think, a poster or something. I was like, that's a hard pass for me. I can't get with stuff like that. I don't even believe that this could even happen. A black man chaining up a white girl in the deep south. Come on now. This is a fantasy.
It's called reparations, my brother. Reparations.
Oh my God.
And I don't stand besides none of this foolishness that happened in this movie.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, my history with the film, I did see it in the movie theaters.
Of course you did. Of course
I did. And I, believe it or not, I saw it with my mom in the movie theaters. I don't know why we saw this movie. And I didn't remember it until it gets to the scene where Justin Timberlake's character comes in and like points a gun at the main character, at Samuel Jackson. And because I remember my mom being like, oh my Lord. And so I was like, oh, shit, I remember seeing this in the movie theaters with my mom. I don't know why or how, because this is not the kind of movie that she would want to go see. But somehow we ended up in the theater together.
Cover your
Everything
eyes.
else must have been sold out.
Maybe so. And I feel like it was in Liberty Cinemas. Like, so
you had what, 6 other choices and you landed on that one, huh?
Right.
I don't know how. I swear I do not. But
must have thought it was a sequel to Black Snakes on the Plane. You probably thought it was like, Black Snake Moan.
First of all, Bobby G definitely would not see that. but anyway, we saw it, and because I did see the trailer, and I remember the hype of it coming up, or like building up before it was released, and I wanted to see it. So and this was like a hot Samuel Jackson time, even though like Samuel Jackson has never been not hot. Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's never been an unhot Samuel Jackson time, but I wanted to see it, and then like to what you said, Terrell, like a black man chained up a white woman. I was like, what? Because it really does not explain what is happening in the movie. When you watch the movie, it's like an entirely different movie from what you would expect. So that made me want to see it. It was just really like the shock and awe of like, what the hell going on? I got to see this. So I did see it. And then I've watched it a couple of times after that because I just kind of like the film. I like the music.
So you made a choice.
I did. I actually enjoyed this movie.
Did you?
Oh.
Yeah. So, but we'll talk about it because there are some things that I don't enjoy, but yeah.
Somebody about to be fighting for their life.
And speaking of fighting for their life, that's what I want Jeff to do with this 60-second recap.
It's about to be a bad one. Go right ahead. You can count it down. I'll tell you what. I'll save you 45 seconds.
Oh no, you taking the whole 60 and you gonna tell us.
Oh, that's fine.
The rooter to the tutor. You going from the beginning to the end.
It was a lot of rooting and tooting. Go right ahead.
So whenever you are ready, I will throw 60 seconds on our clock.
Let's go. I'm taking my death right now.
All right. Well, ready, set, go.
So, unfortunately, my cousin Kirsten is asking me to do this, and this was a Lorno, a light porno. For those that don't know what Lorno is, I guess this girl had a sex addiction, and like her boyfriend runs off to the military, and while he's off in the military, she cannot control her sexual fantasies or urges. So she's basically sleeping with the whole town. Then you have this very, very prior to Django looking slave or enslaved man that is played by the character of Samuel Jackson with cotton picking hair that changed this white woman to a radiator and makes her basically try and get these demons out of her. Maybe it was an exorcist of some kind. She put praying oil and all that stuff on him. She breaks away, and then he puts it back on the chain. And yeah, that's what I got. Terrible movie.
Oh, Jeff, that was
that
was
very accurate. And I didn't even rewatch the movie for this episode. That's just off the memory. That's how bad this movie was. It's been ingrained in my brain for all that time.
That was something.
It was.
Yeah, you did. It's like his movie. It was something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
you did it to yourself.
That was a choice, and
a Lorno. That's what it was.
Lorno. We you know what, you were just educating us just so much. You know, you've given us the backstory and history of the bootleg, and now you've taught us what a Lorno is.
Correct.
Wow.
Like kind of was reminiscent of like Skinamax. You remember back in the day when you used to watch
Skinamax? Yes. Yeah. And I feel like this is like an episode of Reading Rainbow. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Every hormonal kid in high school couldn't wait for Skinamax just to see some dry humping.
This is true. This is true. You butthead. All right. So look, so if there was ever a cocktail that would fit a film's vibe, it's going to be this one. So today we're sipping on a Chains and Smoke. It is a sour, smoky, slightly dangerous drink that is a nod to the iconic chains that Samuel Jackson uses and the intense energy of the film. So we're going to make it right now. And if you're going to make it with us, the recipe card is right up on the screen. I know it's kind of tiny, but here we go. First, we're going to take our shaker and fill it with ice. Let's see if I can. I really got to work on my green screen. And we are going to use 2 ounces of mezcal. Got 2 ounces here, maybe a little over 2. And throw that in our shaker. Look. All right. Exactly 2 ounces. And then we're going to use 3/4 ounce of lime juice.
Okay.
A little bit more. Ooh. Put that in our shaker. And we are going to use 1/2 ounce of agave syrup. So we got 1/2 ounce right here. All right. I always put my tops back on because I'm very clumsy. All right, so then we're going to put our top on our shaker and give it a shake. While I put some ice in my rocks glass that I have rimmed with some tahini.
Nice. You're just gonna keep shaking it in our ears. Okay, go right ahead.
That's right.
It's fine. It's going deaf.
All right, and pour it into our rocks glass. And here we have a Chains and Smoke.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah. How is it?
Very good. And not because I made it myself. Jeff has his hand raised.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I was waiting for the smoke in the cocktail called Chains and Smoke. So where's the smoke? Because I know mezcal and everything, but where's the smoke?
The smoke is already infused in the mezcal. So there we go. Okay. No dry ice here because I don't. Mama don't play that.
Gotcha. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I just wanted to ask that question.
Jerk. So anyway, oh, I hate you. But anyway, so while we sip, here's a little background. Mezcal, unlike tequila, is made by roasting agave hearts underground and giving it a distinct smoky flavor. It's bold and rustic and kind of mysterious, much like the Deep South setting in the film. So let's break open Black Snake Moan. You guys ready to take
Pause.
this journey?
Yeah, yes. Ready.
Yeah.
Hey, this is real good. Anyway, all right. So Black Snake Moan was released in 2006, written and directed by Craig Brewer, who also did Hustle and Flow and the Footloose remake. And
that's an odd choice.
Very much so. I could give him every bit of Hustle and Flow because you can see a lot of the cinematography is the same. But then just go completely left with Footloose. That's a choice.
Yeah. Hustle and Flow. It was supposed to be, from my understanding, it was like a 3-part thing, but I don't think the third part ever came. But Hustle and Flow was supposed to be about rap music. Black Snake Moan was supposed to be about blues, and then a third movie was. Well, no, it was like going to be a third movie in that vein, but I don't think that happened. And then Footloose just happened afterwards. But he also
now you're doing the more you know, because I did not know that. That's
no, I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
he was trying to build a little universe.
Yeah, the
morbid universe.
Shut up. But yeah, and he also did Coming to America.
And I definitely don't like it. You
to
messed up my favorite movie of all time. I definitely don't like this director. Yeah.
So
wait, I thought the guy that Kenya Burris that did Blackish, I thought he did Coming to America.
Oh, he did?
This guy did it.
Oh.
But the movie had a $15 million budget and it made just under $11 million at the box office. So didn't do great, but didn't do that bad. It wasn't a complete flop, but it wasn't a success. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it holds a 66% rating from 164 reviews. And the critics were kind of divided. It's one of those love it or hate it kind of movies. And some trivia about the movie. Samuel Jackson spent 6 to 7 months learning to play the blues guitar for real. So all of the guitar playing that you hear in the film and the singing is him. No doubles, no hand doubles, no studio tricks. He sang live for the performances. Wow. Christina Ricci's 40-pound chain. She wore an actual 40-pound chain for most of the shoot to maintain authenticity, and the chain stretched up to 40 feet, which made movements difficult, but she wanted authenticity. So here we go.
A lot of method acting.
A lot of method acting and physical commitment. So let's see. Yeah, so back to what we were saying earlier, Craig Brewer's Southern Soul. The writer-director, he set the film in the home state of Tennessee and used Memphis locals and real location to give the movie its kind of gritty look, its Southern blues vibe. And the movie title, Black Snake Moan, comes from a 1927 blues song by Blind Lemon Jefferson. So that is why the title is called Black Snake Moan. Because I was talking to my mom and I was like, Mom, we've seen this together at least twice in the movie theaters and we watched it at home. And she was, I don't remember nothing about no damn snakes. And I was like, oh my God.
You definitely remember all the moaning in that movie. But anyways, Lorna.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna talk about it. So the last bit of trivia I have is a little tiny one. Much of the blues, the aesthetic, and the history was shaped by real blues legends, and the guitar that Lazarus plays is modeled after the vintage blues style. And the film's music supervisor worked really close with musicians to get the sound just right. So there we have it, a little technical summary and some trivia about our film for today.
All right.
So let's get into it.
That was more entertaining than the movie. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd rather hear more about how they made the movie than the movie. I mean, documentary.
There's nobody in the history of critiques of movies. I'd rather know about more how they made this movie and this film than the actual movie.
I hate you both. And also, we'll talk about it because that is kind of the reason why I like this movie. But
Of course,
for the DVD commentary.
I have not experienced the DVD commentary yet, you asshole.
What do you mean yet? It's been since 2006. It's been out.
I don't have it on
the
DVD.
Here's another fun fact, kids. If you ever want to get a DVD, they have them for $1 and sometimes $5 at Walmart. Or if you could go to your local yard sale, they'll be probably giving those away because nobody uses DVDs anymore.
Thanks.
Back to you, Kirsten.
The more you know.
Jeffrey Mims also has an extensive DVD collection in his home, and you can visit him at that home. I
actually do, though. That's the funny part, because when I was in college, fun fact, when I was in college, I couldn't afford cable because I was obviously a struggling college kid. So we would buy DVDs from Walmart, and that's what we do. Watch the same movies over and over. That's why I'm here. That's why I love this show.
Not the Walmart.
Walmart.
Wow. Well, okay. Well, thank you, Jeff. If you'd like to purchase DVDs, you can just message Jeff.
Absolutely. All the swap.
Just for the purchase.
All the swap.
Yes. All right, y'all. So let's get into the film. And I'm gonna just start with a blanket question. Like, what do you guys think that the film was trying to say? Is it like a story of redemption, a story of control, a story of healing? And I'm going to answer first and then throw it to you guys. But I think that it is a story of healing. The way it was done was, but in the end, they both kind of not healed each other, but got themselves on a path to healing. Well, we have a comment that says, "Good day, everyone." Hello, thank you for joining us today. But yeah, so I think that it is a story of a lot with a lot of layers, and I always think it's interesting that the two main characters, who are vastly different, had a lot of the same struggles and were able to connect that way. But yeah, how about you, Terrell? What do you think? Is this a story? What kind of story is this?
What kind of story is this? I would say it's a story of two broken people trying to heal. They were both broken. Samuel L. Jackson's character, what's his name again? Lazarus. Yeah, Lazarus, the old biblical name. He was fresh off of his wife cheating on him with his own brother. Wow. Because this movie gives you zero setup.
Dude,
they don't
just throw right into
exposition. It's like you just show up and you just there during their day. Yeah. And then Christina Ricci's character, who was Ray, was it Ray?
Yes,
was her name?
Ray.
Yeah. Her, I guess, her sex addiction. She was a nymphomaniac. I guess. Is that what you want to call it? Can you still call people that?
You know, we didn't put a lot of names on all of the stuff that was going on. Like, there weren't a lot of names given to it, but yeah.
Okay.
I think some people in the South might refer to her as a garden tool, but you go right ahead, brother. I'm sorry to interrupt.
All right, no, go ahead. Okay, then yes, she was definitely a tool that they was using. So yeah, I would say they were both in need of something, and they both were something to each other, and yeah, they did the best they could with the tools they had.
All right, Jeff, take it away.
I can't top that. You said it. You said it best. I mean, honestly speaking, if you want me to be completely honest, I feel like this was a money grab for both Christina Ricci as well as Samuel L. Jackson. David Banner was also in this movie, as well as Justin Timberlake. So you had a lot of big names in this movie, and I feel like maybe the script wasn't as strong. I don't even know if they knew what they were signing up for. But you haven't been like to a movie. I'll tell you this. if you see any historic movie that has like a lot of big names, what was that movie? Be Cool, right? You know, it was all these big, big names. Like when I start seeing a bunch of star-studded cast, I 100% know for sure that it's probably not going to be a good movie, because it's like, oh, this is a money grab for them. We got all these actors on board, and the storyline is probably, lacking a little bit. And that's what I felt like this movie was, in terms of the actors who portrayed these characters. But Terrell said it best in terms of what they were trying to go for, maybe. You know what I mean? There was probably a couple things that they were trying to get into this, but yeah, it was hard to get through, But go right ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I can't say whether that's right or wrong or not. But there were quite a few big names. That big side that I did in the beginning with Justin Timberlake. It's not that I'm not a Justin Timberlake fan. I mean, I'm not, but
it's not that I'm not.
It's not that I'm not, but I'm not.
But I'm not.
Double down
on. No, I'm saying the reason why I disliked him in this film is because his performance was awful. And then, like, you pair him against Samuel Jackson, like that whole scene at the end where they're like,
Jeff and the razor.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah. So the movie itself wasn't awful. Just Justin Timberlake's performance in the movie made you not like Justin Timberlake. Never mind the entire movie that was very lackluster.
I don't think the movie is awful.
But I'm saying,
and
his character is what you didn't like about the entire movie.
Yes. No. That's not what I didn't like about the entire movie. I'm just saying, in my opinion, his performance was horrible. He's not a good actor.
Gotcha.
I liked him in that movie where they still in time. Oh, I liked him in Trolls too. Justin Timberlake showed up in Trolls.
And
is that a cartoon?
Yeah, it is. Have you guys ever seen Alpha Dog? He killed it in Alpha Dog.
Was he good in that?
Yep. See, and time, like Terrell said. Absolutely.
I don't know I've never seen another Justin Timberlake role, I don't think.
Well, there you go. You can't even weigh in on it. But right ahead. Go right ahead. You go ahead.
Now I gotta know what other movies he's in. Hold on just a minute. Let me look.
There ain't many.
You don't believe us. Don't worry about it.
He's in like 3 troll movies.
While you're Googling that, I'd like to tell the fans out there, Justin Timberlake is an American songwriter and singer, and he does very well for himself. He's married to Jessica. What's her last name? She's not Alba. What is her last name?
No, he's been in a lot of movies, it looks like.
No kidding. Welcome to 2025. We know this.
Hell, I didn't know that. He's been in Model Behavior, Edison, Alpha Dog, Black Snake Moan, Southland.
Friends with Benefits. That was another good one.
Trouble with the Curve, Wonder Wheel, The Trolls, World Tours, The Social Network, Bad Teacher. Okay, I mean,
The Social Network too.
I feel like I've seen him in Bad Teacher, and I feel like that was. I think he was fairly okay with that, but in this, you know what? This is his 4th film, so maybe his acting got better. Yeah, and I'll give him that. But his performance was just not good, and paired against Samuel Jackson in that scene, it was just like, oh, this is rough.
Yeah, you put an inexperienced actor against a vet, the likes of Samuel Jackson. It
was rough.
Very lackluster.
Crazy if we were going to scene with Samuel Jackson.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's not the only thing that I dislike about this film. And the thing is, let me say this. Just because I like this film doesn't mean that I think that it's a great film.
That is very much so Kirsten saying. Go right ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are tons of films, and I'm sure y'all can feel the same way, but there are tons of films that you can like, but it's like, it's not a great film, but you just like it. Or do every film y'all like is a cinematic masterpiece? I know Terrell feels that way, so you don't even have to say that, Terrell. Jeff.
If I
there are movies that are so bad that you like, I like this terrible movie because of the bad, acting and everything like that. You know what I mean? Yes, there are a few. Yeah. One does not come to mind right now, but I'm sure I'll think of one that is like a cult classic that, you know what? Boys in the Hood. Not Boys in the Hood.
I'm about to say.
South Central.
Dude, I'm gonna put South Central on the calendar. I love South Central.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like the acting.
I've seen South Central. When did you see South Central and didn't see Boys in the Hood?
I've seen Boys in the Hood.
When?
I've seen Boys in the Hood at least once.
When she went to Walmart and got her DVD.
Shut up. No, I didn't see it as a child. Now you know who my mama was. She didn't play that. But
I saw it.
Excuse me. But yeah, I saw South Central a bunch of times. Yeah, I like South Central. But yeah, and I feel like that movie does not get enough love. It doesn't get the love it deserves. So we're gonna do South Central.
Okay. Still bad acting.
Comes to mind for me.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Baby Boy, but I can't stop watching it. Anytime Baby Boy come on, no matter how terrible the movie is.
You just didn't have a choice. If you watch BET, they programmed you to watch it for all of 2006 to 2009. The only movie that they purchased, they was like, we got House of Pain and Baby Boy. Like,
yeah,
it's like we put our bid in. That's all we could get.
Yeah, Terrell.
Memorial Day marathon of Baby Boy 17 times in one day.
It's not a choice. It is the programming. You have been programmed to want to watch Baby Boy. So
and I watch it like it ain't nobody's business. I see Baby
Mama
Boy
gotta have a life too.
Whatever I'm doing.
Well,
Baby Boy.
I'm not a Baby Boy fan. But we do have it on the calendar this year, and we are going to be joined by Crystal Hart. She is going to discuss that movie with us. So look forward to that.
Can she do the dub overs too? Like, the voices when they be cursing?
Not the BET voices.
Yeah.
Mother lover.
Right. Mother sucker. 5 octaves higher than the voice.
Those would be better than the movie a lot of times. Like, wow, the commitment. But I will say, like, as far as the reason why I like this movie, you guys been anxiously awaiting. But this is one of those kinds of movies where, to me, it's like a collection of scenes, and there's a ton of good scenes in here, but all together it doesn't make a great movie. But like the plot that strings these scenes together is like, but the scenes are really great. And so I'm gonna list a few of those scenes. The scene between Lazarus and confronting his brother was an amazing scene. With him quoting the Bible verse and just like, because the audacity of his brother coming in like, I laid it down with your wife, told her she gonna do this. It's like,
yeah, you had some major balls, my boy. He
Bible, the only thing that saved him. He should have.
Yes.
I don't understand why he would even show up. If I was the guy who owned that place, I'd be like, not today, bro.
That ain't the move. That ain't the move.
Don't come in.
But I think that was a great scene, and not even just because of like the dialogue in it, but because a lot of the unspoken acting in Samuel Jackson's face, like you know what he's thinking, but you also don't know what he's thinking, because it's like he came out of left field breaking that bottle, and it like only a phenomenal actor could do that. So I thought that was a really great scene. The scene where, and this is like one of the few, most of the scenes that I like don't have Christina Ricci in it. And not because she's not a good actress, it's just because, like, honestly, the way I feel about this film is that this really could have been a story without Christina Ricci in it. I was not completely invested in healing her. I would have much rather gotten a story about.
Right. You need a healing?
I mean, send her to go get some help and let's get on with the movie. So I just felt like I was more invested in the conflict between Samuel Jackson and his brother, or Lazarus and his brother, Rose, the wife, leaving, and just all of that. And it was all that going on. And then it was like, here, insert young half-naked white girl and make it a movie. And I was like,
so 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of this 2-hour movie is what you hanging your hat on for
Pretty
this movie?
much. We need to change the name of the show to Scenes and Scripts.
yeah,
Sips and Scenes.
for this film at least.
Sips and Scenes. That's what we're gonna call it now.
But one of the few scenes that I really enjoyed that had Christina Ricci in it was when Lazarus was playing the guitar in the storm. That was really intense, energetic scene. And the fact, like, knowing that he was doing the actual playing and really committed to that part of the role is like impressive. It made it even more enjoyable. I would say that there is a I guess you could call it a tender moment between him and the little boy Lincoln after Ray jumps on him and screws him, where Lazarus is. It was, and I was like, we just witnessed rape, and we've seen rape. Excuse me, trigger warning for anyone watching. We have seen rape a couple of times in this movie, but with this young boy and him being so embarrassed after Lance like literally kicks his ass off the porch, and he like has this moment, and it's like he was already embarrassed and already felt guilty, and knowing what happened was wrong, but Lazarus comes in there and like kind of makes a joke about it and makes him kind of giggle, and it's like he kind of smiles like, oh, okay, y'all aren't mad at me. And I thought that was just such a sweet moment. Like, if you've ever done something wrong and you're terrified, and then somebody comes in and like laughs it off with you, like, I know that feeling. So I was like, okay, it was a familiar feeling. So I liked that scene. There was a scene with the scene with Rose leaving him in the cafe and her talking about, not wanting to grow old. And I was like, lady, you're already old, but okay.
Yeah. Actually, he upgraded. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad she left.
Dang!
Upgraded big time.
Oh, Laz. She could have been eating greens and butter beans for the rest of her life.
And she had a whole little rose section. Rose's rose.
True. Mm-hmm.
Tragic.
Man. Yeah, he did. He took that. He was sitting there with that tractor like,
yeah, he destroyed
it's
them
gonna
both.
happen.
And I get it. But yeah, I just feel like there were a lot of strong scenes in this movie, but they just weren't strong enough to pull together this plot. But what do you guys think? Were there any scenes that you did enjoy, Jeff?
Yeah, the beginning when it first came on, and then when it ended, that was like my favorite.
I'm about to end you, remove you from this.
Oh man, I was like, oh yay, and then it ended. I was like, oh thank God. So yeah, it was like, yeah, those were like my. When I say powerful, it moved me right on out of my seat.
And moving past Jeff onto Terrell.
Okay, let's see. What scene moved me? I believe the scene. The scene that disturbed me the most was the scene where she's catching that ride home, and the guy pulls over and starts talking about David Banner's character, and then he gets upset because she looks at his little whatever he had going on down there and was not impressed. so he like basically dog walked her for no reason whatsoever and kicked out the truck because he thought he killed her. I was like,
there's a lot of disturbing things in this movie.
Yeah,
that was one.
There was a lot of disturbing stuff. Like, so that was a rape scene because yeah. And then on the football field, like, even though it may have been consensual, but she was out of it, like hot, and the guy that was like grinding into her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was nasty. I hope. But I have one quick question for y'all. What do you think she had something? Do you think she had the package?
I think so.
She was doing a lot of coughing, a lot of.
Yeah, but
I thought she was dying of AIDS.
Go nowhere. Yeah.
Like legit, I thought she was dying of AIDS for real.
I did too. The whole movie, I was like, oh, she got it.
Either that or was that demon inside of her. That demon inside of her was killing her body. You know what I mean? Because everybody was beating on it like a old king to drum. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I didn't get AIDS, but
that's one of the symptoms is that chronic cough that just never goes away.
Well,
COVID and AIDS. That's crazy.
There's like a ton of symptoms to AIDS though, but I just felt like she was just a person that kind of
love herself.
Yeah, like it was like she don't love herself enough to eat right or eat enough and like not take so many drugs and do a lot of drinking. So she just probably had just poor respiratory.
Oh, so she just had like some RS.
Oh, she had whooping cough. Okay, got it.
I mean the cough, and then he was showed her a lot of grace with that cough because she was coughing all in his face and stuff, and he was like, "It's all right, it's all right." I'd have been, you lay down.
In a mask. Would have been chained with a mask on.
Yeah, the mask. That's what a chain would have been. It would have been chained around her head, the mask, because that was a lot going on. But yeah, well, but yeah. Do you guys think so? This movie came out in 2006. You guys think this movie would work today?
Hell no.
Absolutely, even a little bit.
There's no even a way to even say it nicely. Hell no is the response. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Well, why?
I'm trying to be more politically correct.
Why? You ain't been doing that.
No, I feel like we live in a hypersensitive society right now. Like everything, like literally, you know what I mean? Like if you say something the wrong way, it can be misinterpreted. Or we live also in the digital world where people just paint the narrative or whatever. It doesn't have to be true. That's the crazy part now. Like people can just make up whatever, throw it on the internet and make it true. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, our media is being manipulated, you know what I mean, without going on a tangent or whatever. So, yeah, I think this movie would definitely, you know, get canceled in today's, you know, climate. But
they be trying to get Samuel L. up out of here.
Absolutely. Right. They'll be going after Samuel, the actor, not even his character. He was method acted. He really did do these things. And, you know, David Banner, he's a sick man. We're going to cancel him.
Pretty much.
He's a sick man.
Yeah.
Timberlake is our hero. Like,
right, exactly.
Wait a minute.
Thank you for your service, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, for your 30 minutes of service, because he went and he came back like the next day. He was like, dang.
Yeah, he did. He wasn't going long at all. Like, bro, what? They didn't know you wasn't gonna be able to deploy before you deployed.
That word got back to him. He was on the block, and everybody told him, "Man, you know your girl out here screwing the whole town." He was like, "Shit, I gotta get going."
When that joker said you would screw a tree, I said, "Damn."
I mean, he wasn't wrong though. Is the thing.
I want to say she tried.
So yeah, let's talk about her and this sexual thing. Now, I think in the film, we are supposed to learn that this was the result of like years of sexual abuse from one of her mother's boyfriends or husbands. Like that part wasn't really clear, but like we get a scene where she's kind of hallucinating that the man is coming in to assault her again. So
yeah,
I felt like that was heavy, and maybe we could have had a little more of that because it would have given her a stronger redemption. But I think
it was done purposely for you not to have a stronger one. Like it was supposed to be jarring and clutching pearls, and to the point where you're like, this is really disturbing. And it didn't have to be packaged with a pretty little bow. I think that's really, honestly speaking, the tone of this movie. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be so jarring and so disturbing that we're not trying to give you the happily ever after, you know what I mean, or the pretty little Disney bro or anything like that. So job well done on that, because they definitely did that. I mean, I was sitting there just social anxiety the whole movie, you know what I mean? But Like, oh
Yeah.
my God, you know what I mean? But just to your point in terms of like that was a heavy scene. That definitely was some serious topics, and it might not be our story, right? I learned this with music. If you're an artist and somebody's writing their song, it might not be your story, but you never know who that is going to touch and really connect with. So maybe that story did connect with somebody who was walking in those shoes and had this movie to kind of get through the some of their things that they were going through. So I will remove judgment, from the promiscuous of this character. But again, it was heavy. It was super heavy.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I'm to what you said. I do kind of wish that there was a little more on that, and maybe her like facing those demons. But I feel like that would have been probably too much for this movie, because we are presented with this man who is trying to, I guess, help and heal this woman. He ain't no therapist. He's just doing the best that he halfway know how to do. And so
was call the police.
But she would have been back out in a couple of hours and back on that football field screwing some more.
That sounds like a choice.
well, but no, I'm just saying, like, we could have had a little more like healing and like trauma. She needed some trauma counseling, and it was like blues wasn't gonna fix her. I mean, blues is powerful and heavy, but it ain't gonna fix that. Yeah. So, because this movie doesn't go that deep as far as like the trauma. It's really like, all you got to do is feel good about yourself and then get married and leave the town and it'll be okay.
But think about it. A lot of resources aren't, if this is a small town, they probably don't have those type of resources. So, again, like clever writing there in terms of like, maybe that is get right with God, get married and your life lives happily after,
And that's what a lot of people do. Absolutely. Yeah. That is what a lot of people do. Yeah. But I just know that I guess me thinking down the road, like Black Snake Moan Part 2, she gonna relapse because you ain't really addressed everything.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen it, and I'm not gonna name the name, but we've seen that recently. There's an entertainer, a rapper, and he's married to a young lady that was known for being a hot girl, if you will, for the lack of better words, and now she's changed religions or chosen religion, and everybody's like, wait, what? Like, how you go from twerking to Bible thumping? You know what I mean? So that is, and I'm not bashing her. I'm not saying that at all, because I do feel like you do need direction, and I'm a very spiritual person as well, so I believe in God is your roadmap and the Bible is your roadmap. But I'm not saying that that's a basher, but I think not making light of, addiction. When you think of addiction, we think of always drugs and alcohol and things like that. But sex addiction is a real thing too. And we don't really give it too much, of a light, because they're like, man, you just ain't got discipline. But there are some people that, gotta have it and can't live without it. So, again, like you said, she did need some trauma therapy, some trauma, healing, and really some hard. I don't know if you got a facility where you can go, to get, how do you wean yourself off of sex? Do you sit yourself in a padded room and, like no more locked doors? I don't know what it is. Just I don't know what you do. But
well, no, there are groups and counseling for sex addiction.
Yeah, counseling. I'm talking about like, when you go to a facility for drugs and you got a cold sweat and they wean you off of the heroin or whatever the case. Yeah. What do you do for a sex addict? Do you not watch porn and make you watch Disney? I don't know. I don't know what they do. You know what I mean? Sit there, eat rice cakes.
Yeah.
Disney movies.
Throw holy water on you. Throw holy water. Gonna get that sex demon out you.
Wow, Jeff, you have so many talents. I mean, you sell bootleg DVDs.
I didn't never sell. See, now
you say you sold them. You say you bought them.
FBI. I did not say I sold. I have not
He's
sold it.
selling.
Because you wouldn't steal a car.
He's selling out of his old collection. He's selling DVDs out of his old collection. And
No, ma'am.
he's also a sex addictions counselor. He will come to
you
your
rice
house and
cakes
throw
and
holy
Disney-
water on you. And
Eat
give you
rice
rice
cakes, watch
Disney.
Disney movies, and we're gonna pray every hour on the hour to get that sex demon about you.
First of all, that sounds kind of fun. Like if somebody was like, "Hey, you're gonna sit down and watch Disney movies and eat rice cakes all day."
Well, as a former psychology major, I will actually let you know that there's some sick stuff in some Disney movies too. I don't want Disney to come after me, but they've cleaned a lot.
Because look, the
They
mouse
come a lot.
come down on your house.
I know they've
Okay.
come a long way from back in the day, but there were some hidden gems that we actually studied in psychology class that made it in the final cuts.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'll leave that alone because I don't want any problems. I don't want any smoke.
That's right.
With the
You
Disney community.
do not want the mouse to come down on your house because Disney will get you. So
Mhm.
we love Disney. For Disney is a friend of the podcast. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Well, let's move to the end of the film. Jeff's
Hallelujah.
favorite part, obviously. And let's talk about the symbolism of the chain. So I am doing some research for this episode. I found that Christina Ricci, while she liked her, final performance in the film, she hated the way that the film was marketed. And I remember it being marketed, and it was like Samuel Jackson holding this big chain and holding her on a chain, and it looked like this real like sexually charged, even though the film is quite sexually charged, but not in the way you would think. You would think, like the way it's marketed, it looks like she's like this sex slave to him, and it's just really a weird choice. But knowing how things are marketed, I know why they did it that way.
Mhm.
But she hates it so much that she won't talk about it, and she won't, like, when people ask her for an autograph, if it's anything like Black Snake Moan movie posters or anything, she won't sign it. So
You got PTSD.
So yeah, but the chain, what do you guys think about the use of the chain? Because in an interesting scene at the end, they put a little gold chain around her, I guess, to like remind her of her commitment to herself and her experience with the big black rope chain. So what do you guys think? Terrell, you're making a face that says you really want to give some commentary on that.
Then you're not reading my face correctly. The chain, I didn't. The chain, I guess it was necessary because he was kidnapping her. Sorry. Like I said, the police should have been called.
On them both.
You can't keep people in your house against their will, regardless to where you find them. It's like he treated her like a stray dog. That you like, nah, you gonna stay here.
I don't want it to run away.
You out there wandering around. Make sure you stay put tonight. I'm gonna chain you up.
Bro.
So Lazarus found a puppy and kept it. That's what the chain represents to me.
And he nursed the puppy back to
Nursed the puppy back to health and let the puppy roam. And then the puppy got married and went off into the sunset.
Wow. Well, fair enough. Let me tell you, back to what you said in our opener. There is no. First of all, this movie is a fantasy because there ain't no black man in the South ever chain up no white
woman.
Ain't no way, because it wouldn't be no explaining. You think he could be like, "Nah, judge, I was doing that for her sake,
trying to help her."
He would be under the jail.
Man, he would be under the cemetery next to the jail.
Life.
Yeah.
Bro, no.
And it don't matter what year it is. I don't care what year.
It could be the year.
It could be 50 years in the future.
I want to say 2080. No, not around here, guys. Yeah.
Samuel, I don't care if it is Samuel. You can't get away with
Yeah,
that.
I don't care how many movies you made. You made the wrong one this time. Yeah. So, so there are some. Like I said, I do like this film, but there are some things I don't like. Some themes, some elements. Like, so Christina Ricci or Ray is this sex maniac nympho, and it's like, who does he think he is? Like, you just gonna change this girl? And then there's also this theme of like, all you gotta do is have the love of a halfway good man, and it'll get you on the right road to healing. And there was a lot of men she was relying on in this film, and I guess it happens, but it's like she had no agency really at all in this film. It wasn't her choice to heal. It wasn't her choice to like decide to have a better future. It was like these men were suggesting it and they forced her into it. And it was like when she got there, it was like, okay, I guess I could do this. It's cool. And so I wasn't really thrilled with that theme, but so but let's wrap up. I think it's time for us to move in best, worst, weirdest. Try to contain yourself, Jeffrey. And we're gonna start with you, my love.
That's fine. Best part of this movie, the ending. Worst part of this movie, the movie. And as a as a non-militant Black person, I also would like to say that in solidarity for Juneteenth, I do not wish to speak about change in Black people, nor the institution of change. No, I'm just playing. But no, I mean, weirdest was definitely, again, 100% the movie. I get what they were saying. It was very jarring. It was very Clutch Pearls-ish and everything like that. If this is a rewatchable, again, I went completely off of memory today. And that was probably 2006 was the last time I probably saw this movie. So, absolutely. So I definitely don't think it's a rewatchable unless you are really trying to do a deep dive like Kirsten forced us to do today and figure out the deeper meaning on things and what the chains symbolize. But it could be, if you want to get deep, if you want to, think is this the new thing, how they clap now? Is this the new thing? If you want to get deep for a second, it could mean metaphorically that they were shackled to their addictions.
Oh my God.
That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
See what I did there? It was shackled.
Now we open the floor up for another hour of conversation.
Oh, no, we didn't.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Put a bookend on it.
I did.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Thank you. Wow. Terrell, I want you to go next, but who can top that bullshit? I mean, wonderful. Best, worst, weirdest. Terrell, show him how it's done, because Jeff showed him how you can fuck it up. So you show him how it's done.
All right.
Love you, Jeffrey.
Love you too.
Best part of this film is Samuel L. Jackson. Man, he is top tier, stellar. He never lets me down in the performance. Even if the movie's bad, I know his performance is going to be top notch. So that's the best part of the film. The worst part of the film is just the entire plot. It was too unbelievable. It's too far-fetched. It's too open-ended. It's not enough closure. It's just it didn't seem like it was a complete movie, even though the movie was almost 2 hours long. Yeah. It's a long-ass movie. They don't tell you anything. They give you basically just step into their day, follow them around, and then you leave, and that's it. Never to see these people ever again, and that's how I'm gonna treat this movie. Never to see it again. And the weirdest part of this movie was when they were at the Blues Club. How did Justin Timberlake know that they were there? How did he know he would find his girl there? He didn't find her anywhere else in town. I guess he went looking for her, but he just happened to look through this little hole in this blues place and was like, look at her, she's dancing with the Negroes.
Actually, he said nigger.
Yeah, he was waiting forever to get that off. He was like, oh, that's in the script. Sign me up. Because he said that thing with no remorse.
Yes, and he looked like he enjoyed it. Like he just
like when he popped out Janet Jackson titty, he just did no remorse.
That's your boy, though. That's y'all boy.
Here you go. Y'all are really trying to take out JT. I'm not a part of this. Because listen, Justin, if you're listening and you're watching this, you know what I'm saying? The truth remains, she's gone. You know what I mean? And Senorita. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Man. Bye.
Yes. Good. Yes. Okay, Terrell, that was your
that's my best words of
okay.
That was a mic drop right there.
Yeah, y'all are really bringing it today. My best worst weird is my best, like I said, the scenes in this movie are really strong. They just weren't strong enough to hold up. The scenes were not strong enough to hold up this outlandish plot of chaining up this woman. And like you were teasing earlier, Terrell, like you would rather watch the documentary. I would rather watch the documentary about this.
BTS all day.
Yeah, give me behind the scenes. Hey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, because the movie just it was a too much while also being not enough at the same time. So but the best, that's the best. So the worst, like I said, just stringing it together to build a plot was just not. And the weirdest would be the casting choices. I think Christina Ricci did an okay job. Samuel Jackson, it goes without saying, a phenomenal job. Justin Timberlake, awful. They kept going
for 15 seconds. Barely in the movie.
Yes. Oh, we have a comment. You have a shout out there, Mr. Mims.
What up, man?
So yeah, just the weirdest. Like, okay, the weirdest casting choice for me was like he kept saying, "Oh, a younger woman is gonna bleed me dry," and then you look across the table and it's like this 70-year-old woman, like
he got the bleeding. He on blood thinners at this point.
I mean, I guess she was younger than him or what he was supposed to be, but it's like I wonder how old this person was. And now I gotta know. But
she was in the movie. I forgot all about her actually because she was there for 2 minutes and 53 seconds of the whole movie. And I was like, take me with you, wherever you're going.
You idiot. But yeah, it was just like not very it wasn't all that great, that casting choice, because I was like, maybe they should have got because she looked old enough to be his wife, but not young enough to be dating the brother. But I mean, you like what you like, I guess that's fine. But it was just very weird. When he was like, a younger woman will bleed me dry, it did not hit the same with it being like an older woman sitting there. But hey, whatever.
Hair like that, what was his choices? You know what I'm saying?
Then Mary J. Blige flips, it was like, oh, you talking about his hair.
His hair.
Man, Samuel, man.
You
know, all right.
he be having some. Samuel Jackson be having some hair. He be having some hair.
Iconic. We should do an episode on Samuel Jackson's iconic hair in movies.
Yes, because that
be the top of my head right now. Yeah,
that be the main character too. His hair.
His hair do be amazing.
Coffee brown, all that.
In Django, his hair was the main character.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you're not wrong.
His hair is more entertaining in this movie. But go ahead, go right ahead.
You know what, Jeff? You ain't gonna be just talking about my damn movie again. Yes, Jeff, your hand is raised, you jackass.
I just would like to know who picked this movie.
I did. I stand by this
movie.
Movie.
Because in your best worst weirdness, you basically
it,
picked it apart. You basically are agreeing with me and Terrell that this movie was trash and that it was so horrible that you just continued to watch it.
Yeah, because even your best
I can relate. Exactly. It was still bad. So I'm like, why did we pick this movie? Oh, because you wanted it. But I will give you a pass.
That was the mark of a good critic. I can pick apart movies that I actually like. So
but we're not convinced that you like this movie. But I'll give it to you.
And join hands. You can get in a straight line. You can form a semicircle and just go to hell. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Semicircle.
I was giving you credit if it was so bad that you had to keep watching it, and then in some weird way you kind of like it. I would understand
that. Yeah, you was definitely committed because I was so ready to check out this movie. I was like, oh my.
You know, y'all have had. Can y'all not at least say that the blues music in it was good?
Yeah, that was
sure. The blues, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you. One good thing.
This movie wasn't about the blues.
But it kind of was.
The title was the only thing that was about the blues in this movie.
Yeah.
Right anyway.
They shoehorned some blues in here, but it was really about that white woman. They was like,
I shoehorned it. Anyway.
White woman, black man.
It was about a white woman.
White woman. Oh, you know what we need, guys? You know what we need? Chains. Let's get some chains. All right. We got it. We're in the deep south. We got chains. We got slavery. Anybody got some cotton? Like, what are we doing here?
No, we got butter beans, though. We ain't got no cotton.
They used the cotton for Samuel Jackson's hairdo. And that was really...
That was it.
Yeah, there was a lot of slavery elements in this film. Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap it up because I could.
Yeah, because it's Juneteenth and you're just being a disgrace to our race. Don't
wow, I'm a disgrace to the race. Well, that's okay. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up, and so in our final thoughts, we're gonna add a little something new. We now have our Sips and Scripts cocktail scale. Okay. And so this is our first time doing it. So I'm going to give the parameters. So if a movie is a 5, that means it is top shelf cinema, aged to perfection, complex, bold, unforgettable. It's the kind of movie that makes you sip slow and think about it for days, like an expertly crafted old fashioned at a speakeasy. If it's a 4, signature cocktail, still got layers and flavor, might not change your life, but it hits the spot, leaves you satisfied. The movie will be like the equivalent of a beautifully shaken espresso martini, crowd pleasing, stylish, and full of energy. If it's a 3, house margarita, solid, familiar, maybe a little messy, but you had fun. Might not be deep, but you'll watch it again, especially if someone is, showing it. If it's a 2, bottom shelf special, you might finish it, you might not. But if you finish it, it's probably because you just already paid for the ticket or it's just on. It's giving hangover, plot holes, and vibes that don't really mix well, or like taking a shot of something in a cooler at a frat party. A 1, well liquor, no chaser, no flavor, no heart, just vibes and probably not even good vibes. But watching the movie felt like someone dared you to chug a warm vodka. So we're going to put our rating scale up and we're going to let it take over the whole screen. And Terrell, give us your rating.
Oh, this is not hard. This is the easiest one. Definitely a 1. This is definitely a well liquor with no chaser. Get this out of here. Pour this out.
Wow. Okay. All right. Jeffrey Mims.
This is also easy for me. I'm going to go with 0 because it's not even on the board. This is a liquor store right in front. Raging alcoholic drinks Ripple, cooks champagne. Mad Dog 22. It's giving Mad Dog 22. So yeah, that's
so
my rating.
Is gut rot.
It's beyond bottom shelf. This is you left this on the shelf too long, and you don't even know if it's edible. Like, why is this drinkable? Probably not. So yeah, that's my rating.
Okay, what y'all think my rating is, y'all assholes?
I think house margarita.
You probably either 3 or you're probably 3 or 4. Yep.
I'm gonna say it's a 3 for me. It's still familiar because I watched it a million times, but it's, well, I wouldn't say it's solid, but it's definitely a little messy, but still has some fun.
Now it's
I
coming
like.
together. You were drunk when you watched it. You were drinking the house margarita. I got it now. Okay, no worries.
I don't know, but and I'm gonna be honest, like, and maybe Terrell can vouch for this or not, but I also feel like with the blues music, it was kind of like it was familiar because we had aunts and uncles like listening to blues, like our Aunt Vivian blues, our cousin Butch blues down, and so hearing these sounds, were very familiar.
It was familiar, and the setting was real familiar. It looked like where we grew up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm gonna say a house margarita, and see, I can play nice. So yeah. All right.
We're over here now.
Yes, I threw everybody off. My bad. My bad. Look, like I said, it's our first time doing this. So yeah. So we'll wrap up. How about we wrap up with a what are we binging? Jeffrey, what are you watching? I know you're traveling a lot, but have you been watching anything?
Yeah, actually, I've been binging on these NBA finals, to be honest with you. No, seriously, I have. Like, I watched the entire playoffs to the finals, the Eastern and Western Conference finals. And yesterday, the Indiana Pacers are now going to the finals against the OKC Thunder. And it was the last show of the Inside the NBA with on TNT with, Ernie, Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq. So it was kind of emotional, but they're actually keeping the band together and they're going to ESPN. So yeah, that's what I've been binging on.
Nice. Terrell, what about you? What you binging on? Not binging.
Actually,
what are you binging on real quick?
I'm also watching NBA playoffs finals. So now I see we got the Black Snake Moan finals because they're going to be out in the country, OKC and Indiana.
Okay.
So yeah, we gonna have that finals, and then I watched all of the Mission Impossible 1 through 7.
Don't tell me about the new one. I haven't seen.
I haven't watched the newest one, but that's why I binged on it because I want to see the newest ones. I'm like, yeah, let me catch up.
There you go.
Cool.
6 is still the best one to me
though. Okay. Well, I have been binge watching. I've been watching 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu. Watched that, and speaking of movie repeat, I watched all 8 of the Harry Potter movies just on a whim a couple of nights. Potterhead, sorry.
You love disappointing people every day of your life. I see.
Go through something like is it needed for an intervention? We're watching Harry Potter and Black Snake Moan. I'm concerned.
First of all, Harry Potter is great. So whatever.
I get it, but why are you binging it in 2025?
I don't know, but I watch it at least once a year, and I probably read the books every 2 or 3 years.
Are you like Peter Pan, and you still want to be, a kid again, or like
Harry Potter? A lot of adults like Harry Potter, and I'm not going.
Don't worry about it. We'll talk offline. I'm starting my own therapy session, as you mentioned in this episode.
Do I get to have rice cakes in Disney movies?
You do. Absolutely.
And holy water.
And holy water doused in your face.
Well, they sign me up. I ain't doing nothing else this evening. So, all right. Well, that is our show, kids. Thank you so much for everyone who popped in, left a comment, said hello, tuned in. We actually had a pretty good time breaking down Black Snake Moan and sipping on a Chains and Smoke, which I actually finished. Sometimes I don't finish the cocktail, but I actually finished this one. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Sips and Scripts Podcast, and check out Sips and Script Podcast for past episodes, cocktail recipes, and more. And if you've got a film that you think we should cover, hit us up. Until next time, cheers!
Yes.
Bye.
Peace.